Okay, guys, it's Richard Citizen Journals here. I'm with Todd Collins, also known as the Todd Father in 7K Metals. I am just totally convinced that we need to be in this market as patriots. There's writing on the wall all over the place, from digital currencies. The International Bank today, I think, is warning of coming depression. We're full throttle with what's going on in the world. And, I know, for a lot of patriots, there's been kind of like some positive and negative comments about this, but I'll tell you, Todd has been working with me going on 6 months or so, I'd say, something like that. Todd reaching out to me every time I turn and look at this company, all I see is benefits. And so we're going to take some time today quickly to maybe, Todd, say a little bit of who you are. And then we're going to talk about the benefits of precious metals and within 7K, and why people should be joining, and why it's so important to do it now. And then, we'll give them a link to get more information and make an appointment. I know that there's a lot of the patriots are doing these types of things, and sometimes people just want to keep scrolling or aren't paying attention to it. But we're really at a point now where the fiat currency is under assault all around the world. We're at a point now where we have to make changes. I've done it. It hasn't been easy for me, and I think it's not easy for a lot of people. And I want to talk about that because I feel that same kind of pain. It's like, oh, well, how is someone telling me that they want me to go buy something else now with all the market conditions? So Todd's an expert in this company. He can talk about some of the benefits, not all of them. We'll get through as many as we can, and then just how you get precious metals delivered to your door in the midst of everything we're doing, and actually protect and build your wealth over time. So that's my concept, Todd. If I'm getting it wrong, please let me know. But after I've had 20, 30 conversations with you, and I just wanted to get you on screen for our audience to see you, and just you're the expert in the field. So share a little bit, and then we'll get through it.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So yeah, Richard, I've been following you for a couple of years now. Jen and I found you. I don't even know who sent me you first, way back when you were first running around, scoping out what was going on in the hospitals. And I want to thank you for the work that you've been doing over the last couple of years. You really are, in my opinion, one of the true truthers that are out there. And as far as I know, nobody else even really does what you do. So thank you for the sacrifices that you've made for this country. I know you're a veteran. I am too. Thank you for your service. And what I want to do today, really, Richard, is just take an opportunity to talk to your audience a little bit about the 7K Metal membership that we offer. And here's a couple reasons why. One, with inflation soaring right now and the dollar devaluing, we're watching the stock market. Most people's investments are plummeting and have continued to plummet throughout the last year and a half with this administration.
And I was just gonna say, Todd, too, like we're programmed. I just want to say, like, one of the reasons I'm doing this is because this is the point I am at after journeying through this country, seeing everything that's going on. This is the conclusion Richard Citizen Journal's boots on the ground has come to. That because it's not, Todd, you know me, you know a lot of background information about me, and I am someone who's traversing this country, staying on couches, all these things. It's not about. It's really about helping us get through this period of time, and then also longer term building wealth and having membership benefits. And I was going to say, like, we follow the indexes, Dow, S&P, NASDAQ, but really the recession, it's already here. People talk about a crash. It's already crashed at your grocery store bill with, I'm hearing $7, $8 for a dozen eggs, or can't find them, or milk or whatever. So the crash is here. It's just not necessarily part of the programming you have to be the proper percentage on the Dow Jones and all that. So, that's what people need to start waking up to in our communities. It's already here. We're going through it now. We're in the crash. And can you do something while in the crash to hedge your bet, to protect yourself? And that's really what 7K Metals is to me. And so aside from getting a package in the mail once a month and having all the other benefits, I literally, in my console here, Todd, I have silver on me and I use it. And so I just want to not to cut you off, but I just want to say that to you, that we're in the middle of the crash. The crash is at the gas pump. The crash is at the dollar being less. The crash is at your food costs and making these hard choices and combining trips and all these things to get through this period of time. It doesn't have to play out in the stock market where all the wealthy people have all their money right now. That's coming probably, but it's already at our door. It's already in our pockets. And so that's why it's important to make these hard changes, even though it's difficult. And I want you to touch on something. Because a lot of feedback I get is, hey, Richard, how can you be asking me to do this now when I can't do this, or I'm already broke, or all these other things? but at the same time, I know there's solutions to all that. I want you to touch on some of that too, Todd. So sorry to cut you off there.
No, that's actually a great segue, Richard, because where I was going with all these adjustments that we're looking at, they're real for Americans. Prior to COVID, about 50% of all Americans made a statement that they could not afford a $500 unplanned expense in a year without having some financial difficulty with that. Either you have to put it on credit card or possibly look at bankruptcy. And then they printed, I don't even know how many, maybe you do, 13, 14, 18 trillion dollars got printed for COVID relief, for the stimulus checks, the bank bailouts, and all the things they did to keep the quote economy alive. And they ran it right into the ground. And what we see now is that Americans are really struggling with how to make sure that their money lasts the whole month. And we got to help them, you and I, and the other people out there that are in this quote truther movement. We've got to show people what's out there that allows us to take back some of the control of that and not just sit around like little sheep waiting for eggs to be $18 a dozen or gas to go up to $8 a gallon or whatever it may be. How can we take control of that now? And a couple of the member benefits and 7K metals do just that. And one of the phrases that we've sort of dubbed along the way, and you can do this two different directions. One is Americans helping other Americans so we can help other Americans. Another one is patriots helping patriots so we can help other patriots. And I think people like you that show these solutions on a regular basis to the audience that's the size that you have are doing a great justice to the American people by giving them something that they can hold on to for hope. Okay. And people
Todd, I mean, and you know, and there's something in that I learned in business, and I don't really like business terms because I just think most of the people that I know and stay with truly, like you and Jennifer and others, are everyday people. We're everyday people. But every day I go out, just this morning I went to a Safeway and I got the newspapers, and I'm seeing that the masses have no idea what's going on. You can see them going through it. We as patriots, as God-fearing people, whatever you want to call us, it's really about helping each other. And unfortunately, some of our movement has been diluted because there's been this talk about, well, this person is just about this or that. Like, I mean, if RCJ stands to make some money from this and can do bigger and better things, that's great. But truly, this is about, we have a first mover advantage here. That's a business term I was going to say.
Yep.
We can see ahead right now of what's going on. And that's the biggest thing. And yes, for many, it's going to take some sacrifice, but the payoff, I was with Derek in Arkansas recently, Todd, and we logged into the stacking cell, and all the metals that I've gotten are kind of in my glove compartment because I've been, moving around the country and everything. They're worth more than I paid for them.
Good. So, that's the goal.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's just, I know you're trying to get through this. I'm going to keep interrupting you.
No, you're good.
But that's these benefits. It's real silver. Silver's always going to be silver. And when you can see what's happening with fiat currency, when you can see the big banks, the Federal Reserve, everything else, like you say, printing the money at breakneck speed, and then also getting ready to roll in digital currencies and all this stuff. I mean, the writing is beyond the wall. It's in our face now, and so it's time to make moves. It's time for people to figure it out. And I know you have the answers on some of that, and I'm not nearly as much an expert as you. But all my friends, Ty, like we haven't even taken the time. Everyone I talk to wants in. I mean, everybody. I'm so on the go so much. That's why I would take you and the other people on our team that can actually answer these questions, take the appointments. I'm going to do some of them too. I'm going to slow down once I get to an office space to be able to do more to connect with people. But everybody's interested, because they can see it too.
Perfect. So what I'm going to do here, Richard, real quick, is share my screen. This is a 7K Metals share plan. And this benefit wheel that we talk about is there are little icons on here. Just talk about the different member benefits that are applicable to anybody who has one of the two types of memberships that 7K offers. And some of the member benefits with 7K are about having access to precious metals, either bullion or numismatics. Other of these memberships are ancillary, things like health insurance or coin drops. There's a buyer's club in here as well for things that we're already spending our money on. And this, in my opinion, is a membership regardless of anyone in the United States' financial circumstances today. You cannot afford to not have this membership. And part of my goal, Richard, every day I do presentations of this membership to multiple people. And my objective is to make sure that the people that are looking at this can weigh the member benefits to the cost of the membership and make a decision, this is right for my family. We need this right now as part of our bigger strategy to make sure that we can survive this economic downturn that we're in right now. So quickly, I'm going to run through all of these benefits. I'm just going to say what they are, and then we're going to highlight 4 of them, if that's okay with you, that I think are really the game changers right now in the marketplace. The first one is Sound Money Wallet. This is just a digital wallet that allows us to buy, stack, sell, and even spend fractional gold and silver. Whether your budget's $1 a week, $1 a month, or $1 a year, or tens of thousands of dollars a year, you can purchase precious metals inside a Sound Money wallet, either have them vaulted at 7K or have them shipped to your house and stick them in your own safe if you want to. But while they're vaulted at 7K, they're actually giving us a debit credit card. It's coming soon, it says right here. They're telling us first quarter of 2023 we'll have this card. And if you have silver eagles or gold eagles or silver bars or gold bars in your Sound Money wallet, you'll, if the banking system crashes or the dollar devaluates to zero, you'll actually be able to spend your precious metals balance at the gas pump, the grocery store, for whatever commodities, anywhere that a debit or credit card are accepted. That is a game changer where we're taking back control of our finances from the cabal banking system.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that you and I have been talking about. It's game changing, right? There's nothing else out there like that. Now you can have a debit card that trades, in real time against your current holdings in precious metals. There's nothing like that in the world that I'm aware of. And that's just a statement. I was on a call with you a couple of weeks ago, Todd, with the compliance manager, I think, or whatever his name was. And this is a company that has the highest ethics. I mean, these really exist. I know we're programmed to believe that all corporations are, about themselves, whatever. 7K is different. And look, that's cutting edge stuff. We're coming out with a debit card that's not based on, Bitcoins or data mining. It's based on what you're holding in a vault with them. And when you swipe it, it's trading against it. I mean, that's a game changing thing. I'm excited for that to come out because I think that's something that'll really help reboot the 7K movement and show people just, hey, if you're not in yet, what are you waiting for?
Yeah. My opinion, all joking aside, the membership that you acquire at 7K Metals, if this was the only benefit, this is worth every penny of that, because we have the ability to buy silver and gold, sell silver and gold. You and I can transact between each other in our platform for no fees. You can bring money from your bank here, from here out to your bank. And then, as we talked about, the debit credit card will allow us to spend that fractionally. Moving on to the next benefit on here, it's a big one, is stack and sell. Stack and sell is the one you mentioned a few minutes ago. This is a digital library cataloging system that allows us to scan our collectible silver and gold and do a whole lot of things with it. For instance, I'll pull up this California grizzly bear here, the American State Animal Series. The company has membership. There's 2 membership levels, $199 for standard and $499 for premium. And then they have an auto saver program. Everybody gets 1 coin of the month, the set it and forget it coin. This is the State Animal Series is one of those 4 options. So you can see a bunch of details about the coin here. Low mintage, only 5,000 of those. It's 999 pure silver, 1 troy ounce. MS70 for your audience, that just means that it's under 5 times magnification. It is a perfect coin. It's flawless. There's not a single mark on it or imperfection. There's some pictures of the coin up close, the back of it, the front of it. I can list this coin for sale right here, Derek. I can pop in. You guys see I paid $139. Actually, it's $139 was the cost of this coin. The market value is currently $162. I bought this one from another member, which is why I only paid $130 for it. But I've got equity of $32 in that coin. As I scroll down here, I can see that there's 5 listings here from $150 up to $172. If my transmission just went out or something happened with my car and I need money fast, with a couple clicks of the button, I can list this coin for $145 and sell it on the secondary market to other members that have access to this platform as well. Same thing.
And with that, Todd, I was down with Derek. I mean, just the technology too with 7K is unbelievable. I mean, you open up, you log in on your phone, and then you can literally just take a picture of the coin, and embedded the coin is all the information, and it just drops it right in there. And like you said, you can list it. You can just see what the fair market value of it is. I did a video with Derek on that a while back. I mean, the technology standard in 7K is unbelievable. It's just the perfect, all the technologies that we deal with. 7K has just brought it all together in a very convenient, easy to use. Once you have it, once you're logged in on your phone, you're looking at it, all just flows well, works well. That's another little thing that I know me as I'm using different apps. I can get frustrated with them because they
Yep.
glitch or whatever. And 7K's got their technology platform is incredible as well.
And improving all the time. Matter of fact, that Sound Money wallet I just showed on your screen a second ago, they just updated that on Monday, or no, on Monday. So it's a brand new platform for all of us because they continue to advance their technology. What I'm showing here now is, Richard, is in the marketplace. I don't know what you are into, but I just searched up Batman and whatever that is, 9 coins it look like come up there. This particular one, I can hop in here and I can see that the value is 358. There's 5 people that have them for sale. I can buy it with my stack and sell balance or Sound Money wallet. I can also link a credit card there if I want to. I can have it shipped to my home or my PO box. But that quick, I can buy that coin. And what happens if you're the seller on this, to prevent fraud from happening, which runs rampant on eBay and a lot of other selling platforms, if you're the seller, you get a notification that your Batman coin sold. You have 2 days to send it back to 7K Metals. They recertify and insure that coin and forward it to me. At the same time, they've taken the money for that coin for me and they've held it. Once they certify it, they send you the money. So we don't have to meet each other behind Walmart in a parking lot or something in the middle of the night and have the opportunity for something bad to happen, like getting a counterfeit coin or possibly something worse.
Yeah, right. I mean, I hear some pushback sometimes, Todd, on collectibles and this and that. But when you actually get in the company and you see how the stack and sell actually works and all these things in place and just how cool it is, and it's just a cool thing to have the coins on hand and then be able to see them on stack and sell and see in real time what they're trading for. And like you say, if you're in a pinch or if you just want to sell or if you just want to buy, it's super easy and convenient. It's just like clicking in to buy something on Amazon or something else or trade on eBay, except they ensure all these steps are in place so there is no fraud, because we've all dealt with that. I mean, gosh, almost everybody's had someone steal their credit card information or something like that. So there's a lot of these things in place, which are safety measures, which keep everybody at a win-win and a benefit situation.
Absolutely. And that's actually a perfect segue again, because we talk about silver and gold. There's 2 real kinds of that. There's bullion, which is a good defensive posture. It's if the dollar crashes, how am I going to interact with somebody sort of in a barter system? If I've got a round of silver, 1 troy ounce of 999 silver, and my neighbor's got eggs and milk and things that I need to be able to sustain life and feed my family, he'll be happy to take the value of silver for those products. On the other side, we have numismatic or collectible coins. It's just a fancy word for collectible coins. And those collectible coins, like the ones, the Batman that I'm showing on the screen right now, are the way we create an offensive posture or generational wealth creation opportunity. And the
right. And that's so much of what it's about. And I'll tell you what, too, Todd, I've ejected myself. I mean, the only interaction I get in big box stores anymore is when I go to get the newspapers, really. And I'm always stopping at diners and little shops that are still up here and standing, and they're all accepting Silver Eagles. I mean, I have lots of video content of it. And I think that's, again, it's these steps we've got to take with each other to keep what we love about this country and protect our generational wealth and leave something behind for our children. And so, like you're saying, a fractional silver, I usually use the Silver Eagles because it's like a $25 meal and people like the Silver Eagles. But, it's already happening and you can do it. I just think it's part of our job to show people and handhold them through this process and then get it in their hands. And then I'm going to do more content on it of how we can actually start using it, start building wealth, start getting in an offensive position, because it's very clear to me we're under attack. And this is just, and to me, and I know there's a lot of different places to buy it, but that's why we talk about 7K, the membership benefits, the auto saver, all these things just make sense. You don't have to think about it. Yes, it does cost money, but it happens for you before you know it. I mean, I've done very little, Todd, and I already have a few $1,000s worth of silver that just happened because through you guys, really, of just it coming by FedEx and all these other things. And so it just kind of happened over the course of a year. And when you really transfer from your checking account in and you buy and you hold more in the vaults and all this stuff, which I haven't had enough time to do or enough money to do at this point, but this is how we're building it. This is how we're building the parallel economy. This is how we're building a home and a place for patriots to really get ahead. I've been on Zoom calls with you with 50 people and lots. And so this is the world we're living in, and we have to participate still, and we can take these action steps and measures with these benefits like you're talking. And it's so cool. I mean, imagine giving your grandkid a Batman coin for Christmas versus the next thing made in China that he's not going to care about, something that he can put in his pocket, that he has somewhere, that you start. I remember when I was a kid, the banks used to have little stairs where the little kid could go up to the teller and start learning something about banking, but all that's been wiped away. So it's our jobs now to teach the youth, to teach the children, to show the value. And then by the time they're 18, 19 years old, they can already have a nice little bit of wealth built up, and they'll have the education on silver and bullion and collectibles and all these other things.
Absolutely. And in as we saw, you're right, the education is so key for everybody. And you said something a minute ago that I want to touch on, and that's that some people say that they don't think they can afford the expense of numismatic coins. Well, the reality is it's not an expense. You're trading dollars that are going down in value for a collectible coin that, as part of your collection, should be in a trajectory of up in value. And I can illustrate that here by going to my dashboard. And my wife and I took about $60,000 out of our, we had a couple of stock accounts, some cash accounts that we had that weren't performing very well. I liquidated those, but these are collectible coins that I spent money on, 223 of them. And you can see right there, I'm up 17.3% since September of 2021. So in that, whatever that is, 14, 15 month span, the stock market's down 20%. My portfolio, my generational wealth has grown 17.3%. And I don't want
to me, Todd, I was with Derek and his was up 19. I know the collectibles, and depending on what you're holding, they go up, they range. So not everyone's the same, obviously, but yeah. That's the thing. It's like, that's what makes so much sense about this. You become a member, you stack and sell. You can transfer over some of your other holdings somewhere else, and now you have this easy, convenient, Patriot-owned company that you're actually in your case, a 20% advantage position versus all the other markets. And Derek always tells me, he's like, Richard, 1 ounce of silver is always going to be 1 ounce of silver. $1, one paper dollar is not always going to be, and there's a million memes that we have of this showing the curves and the decline of the dollar, but that's just what it's about. So like you said, people will say, well, they can't afford to, but look at that example you just gave. I mean, you're up 20% or 17%, whatever it was, in 14 months. I mean, who's getting those kind of returns anywhere?
Nobody. And so that's the argument that I have. Most of my members, including me when I became one, were bullion seekers. Where can I get a great deal on bullion? Where is the platform easy to work with? If I want to buy $1 or $1 million worth of Silver Eagles, I want to make sure that I'm getting the best price on those. 7K Metals has no gimmicks. There's no minimums, no maximums. If you want to buy one Silver Eagle, the price is the same as if you want to buy $1 million worth of Silver Eagles. All members pay no markup on bullion. I think that's very important for your audience to understand.
Yeah, and there's a lot of misinformation about that. That's the thing, is we just got to take the time to educate people. Like, well, they have a markup or they have a this. No, I've done it. I bought Silver Eagles both from a jeweler where I paid a premium because he had them, and then I've got them delivered. When I'm in a place long enough, 7K will just drop ship them to me, and I got it both ways. It's been cheaper with 7K every time. And also on that note, Todd, I mean, when I first started learning about 7K, when Derek first contacted me, because that's how I got in. I got in through Derek French, and I didn't know anything about it. When I first was learning, I said, well, the only thing that I'm interested is bullion, because I knew that part of it. But as we educate each other, and as I learn, what I've learned is the collectible market is huge.
It is.
And there's high value and high returns on it. Yes, a round of silver is a round of silver by weight, and that has a trading value. But the stack and sell is very real, and you're showing it. And so I think ultimately for me, it's about diversifying in precious metals, about having a little bit of everything as I build it for myself, and as you build it. I think that's the thought process.
Yep. I 100% agree. Next one I want to pop onto here is the 7K Health. And we're going to go ahead and the 7K is partnered with SBA Freedom, FMA Benefits. This particular entity, Richard, is the American Indian tribe. So this is a sovereign nation inside of our nation, and they have a benefit package: medical, dental, vision, prescription, and now animal care. This company offers in partnership with 7K Metals. On average, your viewers can expect to save between 30 and 50% on the premiums that they pay right now for individual, couple, family, or small group insurance. If they own a small company, they can qualify here as well. It is the largest PPO network in the country. When Jennifer and I looked at this, I was paying $1,800 a month through my job that I had at Verizon with United Healthcare. All of the doctors, except for one dentist that everyone in my family used, were included in this same network. And we went from $1,800 a month to $1,100 a month. That's $700 a month in savings to my family of 5. And right now, as I'm sure you're aware, thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of Americans are uninsured or underinsured. And this is an opportunity for them to buy pure insurance with none of the BS that's added on for corporate profitability, shareholder equity, CEO compensation packages, and all of the lobbyists that are often in Washington fighting for these insurance companies and big pharma. This is pure insurance, and it's better than anything else out there. And because we're members of 7K Metals, we have the ability to participate in that medical benefit package.
That's incredible, Todd. I mean, I'm currently uninsured, and I need to get enrolled in that myself. And that I know my brother, he's a small business owner, and years ago he told me he was paying $2,200 or $2,300. And in your case, the example you just laid out, I mean, that's $8,400 in real money savings a year, right? It's $700 a month.
Correct.
So I mean, and then you can take that and you can that's extra. It's literally a savings. That pays for the membership in a few days in the beginning of the month.
Yeah, and actually, I'll tell you,
just alone.
I don't know where it is on here. I'm looking for it real quick. I did a little video on this, but I'll just tell you, for people like you, Richard, they actually have a $39.95 a month program that gives you, like, it's a supplemental plan where you have telehealth. You as a person, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, can call in. There's no cost to it other than the premium that you're paying, and you could have a telehealth appointment with somebody. I'm feeling sick. They'll talk to you about what you got going on. They'll send a prescription in. Big discounts on dental, vision, and prescription care inside of that. So instead of maybe paying $200 to have your teeth cleaned, they've negotiated a price of, say, $85 to have your teeth cleaned. And I made that number up. You need to look into that. I personally believe that every member out there, whether they're insured or not, should grab that, just for the fact that you don't got to walk into an emergency room or a hospital every time you have a sniffle and be around all the other crazies that got God knows what in there that might jump onto you while you're in that location. So for $39.95 a month, you can insure your entire family, and they all have telehealth. They have the ability to have dental, big discounts on glasses. I think it's one eye exam per year for free, and then discounts on everything else that you do, and so on. Great benefit to look into when you've got some time.
That's incredible, Todd, because I'll tell you, I was just down in Florida, and one of the things that I had gotten from time to time is strep throat, and it came on so quick. And normally, if I was more situated, I have colloidal silver because I like going holistic if I can, but I was not forced, but I had to go to a minute clinic inside of a Target. And I think that appointment was $225 plus the time, plus the agony. And then to the pharmacist, it was just penicillin. So it wasn't that expensive, but it still was $300, And so if I had that option, I mean, that's some of these things almost sound too good to be true. I'll just be honest with you. My pessimistic angle of my brain says it can't be true, but everything you always say and everything everyone says, I'm offline. I'm going to call Derek today and get myself signed up for that because I need that like yesterday. And for $39 to be able to call someone, get someone, I mean, that makes sense to anybody out there listening.
Especially if you're on the road like you are, buddy. It's absolutely. And I thought the same thing. There is no way for $40 a month they can insure my whole family like that. Scott Fardulis is a good friend of mine. He is the CEO of 7K Health. And Scott and I have done multiple videos on the benefits of 7K Health. If any of your audience members ever wants to have access to those, they're on my website, and they're under the section that says maximizing your 7K Metals membership. It shows your audience, Richard, whether they buy the $199, I'll put that on the screen here right now, the $199 standard membership or the $499 premium membership. Remember, at the beginning of this, I talked about making sure you knew the value of the membership to decide if it was right for your family. Once you have that membership, we have a new goal, and that is to make sure every member maximizes every single bit of the hard-earned money that they paid for this membership. So we recorded those videos. It's myself and the CEO of 7K Metals doing Sound Money Wallet. It's myself and the Chief Marketing Officer of 7K Metals doing the Auto Savers and Why Bullion, Why Numismatics. I took the time to work with each and every one of those leaders to do a full informational video on each one of these benefits to make sure after you have it, what do I do to make sure I'm not missing something? I have a phrase, is the juice worth the squeeze? And I want to make sure when they squeeze this particular orange or whatever fruit you want to use, that more juice comes out of it than the cost of what they put into it. And the last thing I want to do before we wrap up here today is talk about.
And I mean, Todd, just something to say on that. I was a member. I got banned permanently from Costco A lot of us, that are out in the front lines of this freedom stuff have suffered quite a bit. A friend of mine, Christopher Key, he's potentially facing some jail time for refusing to wear a mask. And so I was in Costco and they let me right in without a mask and they banned me. And generally I like Costco actually, but I just think when I think about that, like that renewed automatically for me each year for, $100 or whatever it was for the executive membership. And then Costco does have some of the glassware stuff available. They make their own glasses. They have it's a membership program. People are already very familiar with this. And this is something that, not only is the membership, and you walk into Costco, you can't get out of there without spending less than $300, and half the stuff you buy sits forever because you forget you bought it in bulk and all sorts of stuff. But it's a very similar thing. So I know there's some pushback on that, but just the healthcare alone, if you weren't even getting coins in the mail, if you weren't even getting collectibles, you paid a premium $199 for membership plus $39 a month, and you can have telehealth and some discounts on vision and dental. I mean, that's just a no-brainer, Todd. I know I watched almost all your videos, but some of them are longer. I just don't remember picking up the information you're giving me now. So thank you for teaching me, and I'm excited about getting that for myself.
Perfect. Two more quick things here. 7K Advantage. Right now, Richard, for people like you who are struggling to get by, bills are more than income for a lot of Americans right now.
Yeah.
7K Advantage, in my opinion, is one of the best benefits that you can utilize. This is an app that goes right on your phone. And listen, there's 800,000 different things that we can spend money, goods and services on, that we're spending money on, that we get discounts on inside of this. This is kind of like having a Costco and a travel club membership inside your pocket. So on the high end, and I'll talk about, my wife and I traveled quite a bit. This particular year on hotels, cars, and flights in the last 12 months, we saved over $2,000. That's after we looked at our Hertz Gold or our Hilton Honors or the best we could find on Expedia. I hopped on here, found the same hotel, same kind of room for 50 off, 100 off, whatever it was. We saved over $2,000 last year using that. Well, maybe your viewers aren't doing a lot of expensive travel right now. I travel for work. But let's go to the other end of this. If you and I wanted to go out for dinner tonight, Richard, and I wanted to take you out for a bougie pizza, Domino's, and Dairy Queen, we could save $11 on dinner tonight. That's $11 we were already going to spend of our hard-earned money. And I don't know how good you are at math, but if you do that one night a week for 52 weeks, 11 times 52 is more than $500. And a premium membership is worth $500. The standard's $199, but you get this benefit with either one of them as long as your autosavers are turned on. So with that, most members, according to 7K Metals, save about $1,200 a year on things. And most people don't use this as often as they could. But there's discounts on getting your taxes done, your tires rotated, your oil changed. These are things that everybody uses every single day. 800,000 different ways that you can save. And what I love about this, and this would be great for you, is you see I've got my discounts in here for Valparaiso, Indiana, where I live. If I put in Atlanta, Georgia, when I travel next Thursday, all the things I want to use in those areas where I can get discounts will show up in there. It works wherever I am, and it narrows down the discounts in that particular area. The last,
and I'm sure that's only going to get better. I mean, I've spent a lot more time eating at home and not going out as much because of the cost that is going up everywhere. But yeah, we do want to go out. We do want to enjoy ourselves. We do want to travel from time to time. And it's like a coupon book that I used to get years ago.
Yeah.
Look at that. I mean, all that stuff, Applebee's and all that. I know a lot of people will say, well, this isn't a good company for this reason or that. But let's face it, we're out there spending money on this stuff. Why not get some discounts on things? Because really, almost everywhere you go, there's a discount, but you don't necessarily know how to find it. It's all, I mean, look at that. So much to it.
Look at that one. Employee auto buying program, $3,400 off a new car purchase, average savings. There's more than 9 pages here of this just in my local area. Last week, Ford had $4,925 off MSRP of a new vehicle. That's a huge benefit for $400, $499 a year. All right. We could talk all day about 7K Advantage. As I said, I love this product. I think it's a great way to make sure your money lasts the whole month. People, they're saying, I'm really struggling right now. I can't afford a $199 membership. I'm telling you, you can't afford to not have one. I say this jokingly. I'm a Christian, and I mean no blasphemy in this whatsoever. But Jesus took a couple fish and some loaves of bread and fed 5,000 people. This maximizes your dollars to feeding yourself and your family. You're literally creating opportunity to have a better life during this economic downturn because you have this particular advantage, this benefit that you have inside of your membership.
Yeah, and Todd, I think for my part, I think I've sacrificed or these are all my choices. I take responsibility for it all. But I really think that we're at a time now where we can sacrifice. I know a lot of patrons out there spending more time with their families and more time at home. There's a lot of good, but from the financial piece, it's time to make changes. I know we're habitual people. We do this, but it's time to make the changes. As I said, I mean, it's not easy for me to do a lot of stuff that I do, but it's paying off. I know, I can see it. There's dividends from all this stuff. And I know the pushback will be the membership price. But then, but so many people are still paying for their other memberships, gym memberships, Costco memberships, all these things. And this is just, it's one of these true no-brainers. And I hate that term, but everything that you say, it's like, this just makes total sense.
Yep, it does. And the last thing, Richard, before we wrap up here, they do have a gold-backed IRA. A lot of people right now are real concerned about what's going on with their investments. If they have a self-directed IRA or 401k that qualifies, 7K Metals has partnered with a company called New Direction IRA, which is an asset-backed. It is 100% physical, gold and silver backed. They'll help you move your money over into their particular program, and then you get to decide which ones of the bullion, bars, rounds, numismatic, whatever that you want to actually have your investment portfolio tied to. And that's a great option as well for people who are getting a little bit nervous about that stock market crash, what's going to happen to the nest egg that we worked so hard to build for our whole lives. So that's a great benefit as well. There's a lot of other benefits we didn't talk on in here, from coin drops, personal shopping cart. We didn't talk a lot about the monthly autosaver program, but man, almost everyone, I've got 4,300 members below me in my organization. That's how many people since September of last year have enrolled in this membership that we presented it to. They saw the value and they enrolled. And when I talk to those members that are just collecting their autosaver and they're putting it into Stack and Sell, most of them are showing a 10, 12, 15% increase in just 1 year in their collectible coins. And a lot of them say a phrase to me, or a statement to me, that all the time. And that is, I never had a savings until I had this. And now I have this little pile of coins that's worth $1,200, $1,800, $2,000. That is changing people's lives, because it gives them an asset that if they have an emergency, that $500 expense we talked about earlier, that 50% Americans can't afford, they have an asset that can easily liquidate and Stack and Sell, put cash back in their hands to do what they need to do to survive this time. That's the big.
Yeah, I mean, that's the exact situation. That's the exact situation with me, Todd. I mean, for me, it's in my glove compartment right now, and I'm looking forward to, getting myself in a better spot. But that's it. I mean, you got to make some sacrifices. But like I said, the time passes by quick, and all of a sudden you got 10, 15 of these coins, and Stack and Sell are worth value, which you can trade them out. Obviously, I don't want to sell any of my stuff. I want to keep it all forever and pass it down to my son later on, and it'll enable me to grow wealth. But for all those reasons, all this stuff just makes a ton of sense. I mean, that's what it's about. And I think it's interesting you say 4,800 people joined under you. That's incredible, but it also tells me that there's so much more growth for this company. And yeah. I know people, there's pushback all the time. I'm tired of it. I mean, look, you're going to be able to get a debit card. You're going to be able to take your fiat, convert it to bullion or into a vault in silver and gold, and then swipe a card at the pump. And it's going to go against your real asset holdings. Yeah. Everybody knows about the fiat. Everybody knows it's backed by nothing, really, besides belief. And I don't think the dollar's going anywhere tomorrow. I don't think it's all changing overnight. But wouldn't you rather put yourself in a position where just that's simple member benefit and healthcare, like you're talking about, and all the other ones with the coin drops? I know within 7K, people get pumped about the coin drops. We didn't really mention that, but that's the whole thing where there's a limited supply and you can get in, and then just basically in the blink of an eye, what you got in on, we're able to, is worth way more than it was before. So I just think for all those reasons, it just makes sense, and I think we got to do it. It's steps every day that I'm taking like this that Patriots need to take to change their future, because obviously we know what's on the table. We know the things we don't want to participate anymore, and this is 7K is just one of those solutions.
Correct. I just threw our income disclosure up on there. As we mentioned before we started recording today, there is an opportunity, if you want to take it, to actually earn an income stream with 7K Metals. You do that by just introducing this membership to other people. It's a great compensation plan. And this is another way, again, for your viewers, Richard, if they're trying to figure out how to have another $250 or $500 a month in income, they can just, like I said at the beginning, it can be Americans helping Americans, so we can help other Americans. And as you introduce this membership to your audience and they learn to love it, I promise you, they're going to find people in their life that they'll say something like this: I love my 7K Metals membership. I love you as my friend or family, my sphere of influence people. And I think this could help you right now. And what happens with me, because I'm interacting with so many people every day, is I hear people say, my wife lost her job and she had health insurance for our family and we're no longer insured. Or we're struggling this month. We ran out of money in our budget to pay for food and it's only the 25th of the month. When we hear these things that people are saying, or I'm terrified the bank is going to crash. I went in to take my money out the other day and they said they didn't have $10,000 for the withdrawal I wanted. I need to come back next week. The wake up call better be here sooner than later for most people. Things are about to possibly get much worse in this country before they get better. And we need to do everything we can to educate your audience, Richard, and make sure they're ready to go. And they have the tools in their toolbox that they need in order to survive this time. So I want to thank you for your time today, for your dedication to your audience. I appreciate that very much.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, Todd. There's no positive indicators coming of anyone that's going to solve anything. We've been trained to take our slave jobs 40 hours a week and not talk about finance or whatever, like things are taboo, and they're not. You know, when you talk to people, they're interested, and it's okay. And helping one another is what we're called to do. And that's really what this is all about. So, Todd, thank you, man. And I just want to say, for those people that don't know, Todd works like 20 hours a day. He's nonstop all the time. He's a hard-working guy trying to help others. I'm doing my part. He's in it every day. So, Todd, thank you for making the time for me today. And thank you for all your hard work and all the people you're helping out there. Because that's really what we're trying to do, guys. So love all you guys. Love you, Todd. Thank you. And
thank you, bro.
Look forward to getting this going.
We will. Talk to you soon. God bless.
All right, bro. See you.